Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I'm back again for Strictly Comics, and thank you so much for joining me. We are here for Back Issue Haul Saturday. First, I want to go ahead and thank everybody who checked out Justin on Wednesday as we gave my Strictly Comics channel a little bit of an upgrade. It needed one. I need to do more videos instead of just one a week or one every 2 weeks. Justin helps provide that for me. He does a lot of the new comic book hauls every Wednesday. I buy some books on Wednesday, but nowhere near the amount that he does, even though he wants to cut out a little bit from his weekly haul, which I don't blame him. So, but in the meantime, he's going to be joining us for a season, and definitely check him out over at EXILESTATE Comics. Also, you can check him out as the managing editor over at comicbook.com. Also, make sure you check out my Instagram. A lot of the books actually that I'm going to show next week, I already put on Instagram just because there's some key books that I'm trying to sell, get rid of, give people an opportunity to get them on the cheap. So definitely do that. Also, guys, if you're subscribing, make sure you ring that bell. With Google now, subscribing is not enough. If you want to get notified every time we upload a video, you have to subscribe, and then you have to ring the bell that's next to the subscribe button. Make sure you give that bell a ring so you guys can stay notified every time we upload a video. So let's get right into this. I don't have a whole lot of big books to show you. Those books I'm going to wait till next week. The reason being is that this week I want to show you guys what I got signed at the North Texas comic book show that I went to last weekend. The reason is that I got to get a lot of these books sent out to CBCS, get them graded and whatnot. So I'm not going to sit on them too long. I want to go ahead and show them in a haul video and then get them sent off, and I'll show you guys what grades those come back when I get them back slabbed. So let's go ahead and start out with this one. This was actually Scott Hannon's first Marvel assignment. When I got him to sign this, he told me about that. I had no idea. I just thought it was a cool cover, even though he didn't ink the cover. He inked the interior. Scott Hanna is a big time inker. He's been around for probably about 30 years. He's done a lot of inking. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Joseph Rubinstein or Sam De La Rosa, and just these inkers that have been around for a long time, and he's still working. Okay, so he's been around for a while. He's still working, and I got him to go ahead and sign this, and he gave me like a little bit of a history lesson on that. Also, I got this signed by Scott Hanna, but I also got it signed by Graham Nolan. Graham Nolan is co-creator of Bane, and I did not have my Vengeance of Bane because my presser, I ain't gonna call them names out, but he didn't get my book to me in time. So anyways, I got him to sign that. I also got Graham Nolan and Scott Hanna to sign this. These are not really any key issues, but I love these covers with the Huntress. These books I remember back in the day when I was first getting into comic books. These books were actually kind of on the upper price range. These were like $10, $15 books back in the day. I think a lot of it had to do with because they always had these guest artists doing the covers. This one is, whoops, dang it, why don't I? See, I never seem to learn my lesson. No more than 3. All right, this one was done by Sam Keith, but Scott Hanna did the inks on the interior, and so I got him to sign that right there at the bottom. Also got Scott Hanna to sign this one. No big deal, but just covers that I love. Sam Keith cover. Also got Scott Hanna to sign this one, which is a gorgeous cover. Another Sam Keith cover, but man, I love that cover. That is just a cool cover. I'd love to have that original art for sure. So I got those signed. And I don't know if I'm going to get all these slabbed. Probably not, just because it's just too expensive. Oh, here's another one. Last one by Scott Hanna and Sam Keith, which is a really nice cover as well. Got that one signed. Also, Michael Golden was there. He did Micronauts. So I got him to sign that one. Where did he sign it? Like up in the other side, I think. And I got him to sign Micronauts #1. The thing with these books is they're very similar to the Transformers, and Michael Golden actually worked on a lot of the worked on some of the Transformer books, and I got him to sign some of those, but I'm not going to show those right now just because there's just way too many of them. But I went ahead and got him to sign those. And Marv Wolfman was there. Marv Wolfman did a lot of Spider-Man back in the day, so I got him to sign this. So this is actually cool because John Romita Jr. did the art, so I got the artist and the writer to sign this, as well as this one right here. This one isn't nothing special, but the reason why I got this book is because Amazing Spider-Man 190. This book came out the same year and month that I was born. Now, I know a lot of these comic books come out like a month prior or 2 months prior, but it does have a March month on it. So that's pretty much the reason why I got this. Came out the same year and month that I was born, so I went ahead and grabbed it. March of 79, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. It's definitely a 9.4, 9.2, 9.4 condition, very high grade. So really, really happy to have that. And I also got, let me do this right here. Yeah, let me do this. Marv Wolfman and John Romita Jr. signed number 204. Really nice Spider-Man cover here. And my wife picked out something that they were, I don't know if she said they were giving away or what, but she grabbed this by Omnipress. I've never heard of it, but the thing that I like about it is it's signed by Bart Sears, and it's signed by the art director. Like, I can't remember, but anyways, she got this, and I think the Bart Sears signature alone was worth it. And so she got a nice little find, in my opinion. So I was actually happy that she picked that up. So she grabbed that. Really nice cover too. The artwork is actually really good as well on the interiors. Okay, Michael Lark was there. Michael Lark was there, and I got him to sign Lazarus #1. I actually got him to sign 1 through 10, but I'm not going to show you guys 1 through 10, even though some of the signatures are really, really cool. So he signed that and just kind of gave him a lot of praise because I really like the story. If anybody's not reading this, definitely pick it up and trade. Really, really good storyline. Lazarus. Okay. Also, Bob Budansky was there. He did a lot of the Transformer stuff. He was a lot of the editor and writer and some artwork for Transformers, but the only thing he did with this was he did the cover. And so this is the first appearance of Alpha Flight, and went ahead and got him to sign it at the bottom there. Don't know if I'm going to get this graded because it's not in a really high grade. It's about a 8.0, 7.5, 8.0, somewhere around there. Maybe an 8.5, but I just wanted to get him to sign it just because it's a key issue. So even if I'm not going to get it slabbed, why not get him to sign it, right? So I got those signed. Okay, so George Perez was there. I'm going to show you guys all the books that I got signed by George Perez and Marv Wolfman, and then I'll tell you my experience with George Perez. This is a sick cover. It's nothing key, but it's just a stupid, ridiculously awesome cover. And it's a high grade comic. This is easily 9.6, 9.8 condition. I also got this Batman 440 signed by Wolfman and Perez. Beautiful high grade copies right here, guys. Okay. I also got Crisis on Infinite Earths issue number 6. Right? Signed by Wolfman and George Perez. And then I also got number 8 signed by Wolfman and Perez. Really gorgeous covers here, guys. And last, I got Mr. Perez and Mr. Wolfman to sign this one right here. This is one of the big ones that I wanted him to sign. This book is easily 9.6, 9.8. It's in very, very high grade. I had to get them to sign this. Gonna get this slabbed and probably for sale. But here's my experience with Mr. Perez. He was only there for one day on a Saturday, and as soon as we got there about 30, 45 minutes late. About 30 minutes late. We just had some errands that we had to do, and I didn't get there as early as I wanted to. When we got there, George Perez already had a line. Okay, so here's the thing with George Perez. What he does is he gives you a ticket, and he lets you walk around the con so that you don't have to stand in line. As long as you got your ticket and your number, that's your place, so you can come back at any time and claim your spot. I didn't pay the extra money to get George Perez to sign and all that stuff. I just didn't want to. I didn't think it was worth it. I had number 218. Okay. We were at the con for about 6 hours. And by the time we left the con, he was only on like 38 or something like that. So I knew that he wasn't going to sign. I wasn't getting any of the books signed that I wanted him to sign because the line was just too long. So what I had to do was I had to put my hustling hat on. What I ended up doing was Perez was signing up to 12 books for free. And so I was looking at people to figure out who had like 12, who had like, a couple, 2 or 3. And I was going up to people and I was asking like, hey, can I give you a few books? Get Perez to sign for me. I'll pitch you a couple bucks. This one guy, he was next and he was about 1 or 2 behind. And I told him, I'm like, hey man, I give you $20. Just get 4 books signed for me. And he was like, nah, man, like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll get it for you. He only had like 3 books that he was going to get signed. So he said that. I was like, oh, snap. I was like, all right, I ain't going to argue with you. You say you don't want none. I ain't going to give you none. But anyways, he got this and those other books signed by Perez for me, and I didn't have to stand and wait in that ridiculous line, man, because there were people that were in that line, I kid you not, literally like the entire con. They would not leave. But here's what George Perez was doing. Everybody that wanted to sketch, he was giving them a sketch. So people were taking like 10, 15 minutes per person because everybody wanted to sketch. And it was just too much. So I'd seen Perez before, and I just wanted him to get these books signed. That's really all that I cared about. And I got my 4 most desirable comics signed. And so those will get sent off to get slabbed and probably sold later. But that was my experience at the con. One thing about cons, you guys, is sometimes cons can be too expensive and too big. What I mean by that is that usually when a con is like $30 to $45 for like that Saturday, it's probably a big con. This con was only $15 for a Saturday, so that right there was a clear indication to me that it was going to be a small con, and it was. It was very small. I think I walked around the whole con in like less than 5 minutes. That's just how small it was. But it was a great experience. There was a lot of artists there. There was, it was just a really, really good experience. I actually prefer the smaller cons over the big ones just because you can take your time and actually have more interaction and more dialogue with artists and writers versus the big ones where they just can't give you a lot of time because they got to get to the next person in line. So overall, this was a really good con experience. I enjoyed it. But the highlight of the con, is what I'm about to show you next. All right, so as you guys remember, Scott Hanna was there, and I was getting him to sign a bunch of stuff. But I also bought some original art from him, some original published art at that. This is what I wanted. What this is a piece. I forget who the artist was, but it was published out of Amazing Spider-Man #1 from like 2014 or 2015. No, last year, I think. 2016. I can't remember. But you got the Britain Spider-Man. You got the Indian Spider-Man. You got Spider-Gwen. You got Peter Porker. So really nice 3/4 splash. Original inks, original published page, not the original pencils, but the original inks. But I also got this from Suicide Squad issue #1, page 9. Actually, Suicide Squad Rebirth #1, page 9. I got a beautiful splash with Philip Tan blue line pencils and Scott Hanna's inks. Now, I've seen Philip Tan. He has his pencils for sale for about $900 on a website. I got this for like less than half that. Now, some people might be like, dude, it's not the original pencils. Well, true enough, but this is the actual page that was published. It's got Scott Hanna's inks, and it's just gorgeous. The level of detail, wish I could just show you guys, you know, an up close shot. The level of detail is just amazing. This is an absolutely amazing piece. And the thing about with these guys, the thing about with these artists is don't be afraid to negotiate. When you're dealing with big money and you're looking to buy multiple copies like I did, don't be afraid to negotiate. That was my first experience with Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley's negotiable. Don't be afraid to negotiate because these guys are not going to pass up a reasonable offer. Now, if you're coming in with a low ball offer, I'll give you $5. Of course, they're going to, you know, spit in your face and tell you to, you know, go walk in the middle of the highway or something like that. But so anyways, I got this, both of these. I'm big on original art when I can afford it. And I'm not really a Harley Quinn fan or a Deadshot. But even though I wanted this, everybody was looking at this and everybody wanted this. But as I look, the more and more I look at this, the more I actually like it just because of the level of detail that is in this piece. So not really sure if I'm going to hang on to it for a while or sell it, but the Spider-Man I'm definitely going to keep. But, you know, just to have original published art, man, this is just awesome. And so I was really happy, really happy to have that. So these were like the highlights of my con experience. Once I got these, man, I was just on high. Also, shout out to Kingdom Comics. Kingdom Comics was with me. I saw him there at the con, and he was actually there with me when I purchased this. He was like, "Man, you gonna pull the trigger on that? You gonna get that?" I was like, "Yeah, bro. I think I got to." You know, I was like, "I think I got to. I think I could try to flip this or something, but I'll raffle it off or something." But anyways, beautiful piece. So that's it, you guys. Don't want this video to go too long. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Keep God first in your life, but enjoy your comic books. And God bless you guys. I'll see you next time. Go Falcons. Peace.